Hey everyone, are you ready to be fired up? Because I sure am. Today I've got Cody Byrns, and he is an author and a coach, and he's all about mindset today. And he's overcome some amazing things. So if you're excited to hear about that, well, stay tuned, sit tight, and get ready to be fired up. Are you wanting a kickstart on your business and you want to learn how to be the go-to professional in your industry? Well, guess what? I've got a free challenge for you. It's 5 days of coaching. It's brand new. Just go to KristaMashore.com/client conversion. That's KristaMashore.com/client conversion. And you'll get a free training with me for 5 straight days that's going to help kickstart you as the go-to professional in your industry. So sign up and I'll see you there. This is Krista Mashore here, and we've got our Client Conversion Accelerator Challenge. If you want to learn how to be the go-to professional in your community, just go to KristaMashore.com/client conversion. That's KristaMashore.com/client conversion. Well, you'll be coached by me for 5 days and learn how to attract business and stop chasing it. You'll learn how to become the go-to professional utilizing video and social media. Again, that's KristaMashore.com/client conversion. Okay, Cody, nice to meet you. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so happy to have you. So talk to us. Tell us a little bit about yourself. How did you get here?
How did I get here?
Meaning, tell us your story.
No, I understand. Well, thank you, first of all, for having me. I'm so honored, and I consider it a great pleasure to be part of your show, and I appreciate all that you're doing and providing to our world today. Me in particular, I am originally from Southern Indiana. I now live in Tampa, Florida, and I travel all around the world. Well, at least before COVID, I did more traveling. Now everything is virtual. I talk to business leaders, entrepreneurs, and really everyday human beings that want to make a difference in today's world, and especially those that have encountered trauma or difficulties within their life. And so I talk a lot about resiliency and overcoming difficulties and really propelling us forward and reaching our goals and what we're looking to achieve in life. And so back in 2013, I was on that vision. I always had that vision to give hope to people, to impact thousands upon thousands. And I was just starting. I was 23 back then. I'm now 30. And but up to that point, I had spoken to thousands of children in particular, as well as a few adults and teenagers, but more so children, giving the message of hope. And then 2013 stopped at a red light on the highway. My life drastically took a hit. I was stopped at a red light on the highway, and I was rear-ended by a refrigerator box truck that was going full highway speed, 60, 65 miles per hour, showed no signs of stopping. And on impact of the refrigerator box truck hitting my Dodge Durango at the time, my Dodge blew up into flames. It pushed me through the intersection into an embankment. The first responders, when they came to the scene, they said it's a fatality. Just by the looks of it, they said I was dead. There was no way anybody's going to survive this. But somehow or another, they saw my hand move and they changed their plans. And it took them a good hour to get me out of that Dodge. And then they life flighted me to a hospital in Evansville, Indiana, which is the southern part of the state. And then they redirected me to Indianapolis, Indiana, where I was put into the burn unit up there into a coma on full life support for 3 weeks. I had severe burn injuries, 40% of my body severely burned. I had pneumonia, all kinds of hurdles happened. But you know, it was a devastating moment. And just like many people in today's world, we all have those challenges. And I think 2020 has certainly presented them for all of us. And it's learning to pivot in such times. So I will give a pause break if you want to pitch in and say anything, because I can certainly go on even more.
No, that's incredible. So you had 40% burns all over your body and near death, 3 weeks in an induced coma from the hospital because of how severe your injuries were.
Yeah, it was, and I tell people my face had second degree burns, which second degree doesn't scar, but the most severe was the third and fourth degree burns. I never knew there was such a thing. And what that is it burns through all of your fat cells down to bone and muscle. And in some
Oh,
cases, it requires amputation. And so it was very, very critical during that time. I had many, many surgeries. My family certainly has their side of the story. A couple of different times I came very close to dying when I was in the unit. So a lot of, a
so
lot of
you've
trauma.
been through the ringer, that's for sure. And you, so now after that whole accident happened to you, when was that again? How long ago was that?
That was in 2013.
2013. Okay, so 7 years ago, you went through that, and long road to recovery. And now you are speaking around the country and helping people to learn that they can overcome any obstacle. So tell us about that. What, I know you do a lot of mindset. I mean, how did you get past that? I can only imagine your family and your friends and just how horrible that must have been.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it, I will credit to the support system that I had put in place and that foundation that I laid for my life early on. As I had mentioned, I was on that path, pursuing that vision I had for my life, giving hope to people. And I always knew it was going to be a worldwide message. I knew it was going to be an international speaking career. And so having that in place, all this went down. My mother in particular, I remember her telling me whenever I came out of the coma, she said, Cody, you've been, this is what happened. You've been hit by this box truck. Your car, caught fire. You've been severely burned. But no matter what, don't lose sight of your vision. And I think about how in life, it's so important that we have those individuals in place to remind us when all hell breaks loose, so to speak, and we wonder, why did this happen? Or I didn't see this coming. This wasn't part of the plan. That we have people that will remind us of what's truly most important. And so I credit that to my support system, people encouraging me. However, I'm human. I certainly had my moments of depression. I put on a lot of weight after all that had happened. And still on a health journey. I've actually lost 100 pounds since 2016. And
Wow,
so still
great.
continuing. Thank you. Model material, wouldn't you say?
You're gorgeous.
Bless you. Thank you. I love how I just put it out there for a compliment. Uh, so, but it was very drastic and very challenging. But through it all, I think because of that support system and feeding myself good materials and content, I was left with no other choice but to succeed. And I think that's a great message for many, many people in today's world.
So right now, the world is going through a lot. Everyone talks about 2020. My husband just bought me a shirt. It says, I don't have it yet, but it's on the mail. It says, 2020, still better than my first marriage. So, but I can't wait to get it and wear it. I'm going to put it all over Facebook. But yeah, 2020 is still better than my first marriage. But
Heck yeah.
some people have had a really hard time with 2020, and it's all about how you attack it. And Jim Rohn said, it's not the wind that determines your destination. It's the setting of the sail. We all have the same wind. We all have problems and issues. We all get tired. We all have, death and destruction, and we all have negativity. We all have hardship, right? It's just a matter of how we deal with it. And you've, found a way to deal with a horrible situation and really come out on top. So tell us, how did you deal with that as far as the mindset? What were the techniques and strategies that you used that you felt really, put you where you are today?
Yeah, I think number one was first understanding that I cannot change what happened to me. As much as I would have at the time would have liked to gone back and change things, I couldn't. So embracing that fact and realizing, okay, the only thing I can change is what I do today. That's what will make the difference. And not allowing what happened yesterday to prevent me from the blessings of tomorrow. So making that choice. So I always, whenever I talk to people and even, coaching and so forth, I talk about the EPIC steps. And EPIC is an acronym. And so the E stands for embrace challenges. Challenges will always present themselves at one level or another, whether it be in your personal life or your professional life. Challenges will certainly come. Then the P stands for provide perspective. Look at it in a whole nother light. How can you reframe the situation? What are the lessons you can learn from this experience? Be thankful for what you have and what you can do. And then out of that, we have the I, which is implement the changes. Implement change. What is the lessons? Apply them to my life. All right, I'm moving on. Then the C stands for celebrate. Celebrate your story. Celebrate the fact that you're here, that you're alive, you have another day. Celebrate, and then out of that, serve others. Serve others. And I think with all of that's happened to me in this experience, one of the most thrilling and therapeutic opportunities that I'm given each time I speak is serving the people I'm talking with, serving people. And it's powerful.
So I feel everything you just said, I teach that every day. I like how you did it with the word epic. That's so cool. And you ended with, serving people. Contribution equals growth. growth equals contribution. The best way to be able to really see massive growth in your life is to be a servant of others, serve, not sell, right? To help people as much as you can. And I know that you're doing that through your speaking and coaching, which is great. Okay, great. So keeping your mindset in tech. I love Epic. That just you so well said. Now what else? I mean, I just recently have a friend of mine, and I know this, she lost her son, and it's just been so, oh, I could cry even thinking about it, but it's just been so devastating for her. And every time I think about what she must be going through, it crushes me. And she is feeling, it just happened 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago today, as a matter of fact. And she just doesn't feel like she wants to move on. And I've been telling her, Heidi, you've got to, we've got to think about today, and we've got to really, what would you say for somebody as far as strategies for someone that's lost a loved one or a child, no less?
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I think in any case like that, you got to give yourself time to mourn
Yeah.
and to have those moments to be human, because we are. We have those emotions for a reason, and it's heartbreaking. And for those individuals, that's the thing. I have my story, but deep down, I don't know what everybody is going through. The
Mm-hmm.
only person I know is myself. But out of that, I would just continue to just encourage and know that somehow or another, um, maybe years down the road, uh, you'll start finding yourself being able to move on. And the thing is, and I think you have to look at it too, is what would that individual want you to do? Would they
Yeah.
want you to be emotionally depressed or hard? They would want you to move on. And so look at it in that light, and just as difficult as it may be, try to move on and know that there is hope for tomorrow. And you're alive, and what is the
Yeah.
things that you can learn from this and really help serve others, because there's a lot of people. And recognize too that you're not alone. I think there's power in that. There's so many out there, unfortunately, that are encountering loss, and it's devastating. I ain't gonna lie, it's very difficult.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you for that. I want to be able to help her, and it's just so hard, not to know what to say. And so like we've all everyone goes through things, it's a matter of continuing on. Okay. So what else did you do, Cody, to be able to help you? I mean, come so close to death, and to have, fourth degree. I didn't know there was fourth degree. I thought third was the worst you can go, to fourth degree burns, and just, and your family, it's so difficult seeing someone you love go through that. So hard. I think almost sometimes as hard as it being the person. So what else did you do to help you, talk to me about your path, your road to success?
Yeah, well, whenever I was in, the recovery, it was long. I was in the unit for 2.5 months, and then I had to go to a rehabilitation center where I was constantly monitored by nurses and doctors and therapists for another 6 weeks. I had to relearn to walk, I had to relearn to use my hands. I had many surgeries. I had almost 2 years of nonstop physical and occupational therapy after the fact, and it was just a lot emotionally to take on,
Yeah.
especially at a young age. Your life is going great, then all of a sudden, bam. So out of this too, I would also say forgiveness. The driver of the truck, he was fine. He walked away fine. And I think about how in life there are situations where we find ourselves scarred and damaged because of what other people have done and because of their poor choices. And we have to live with the consequences of that. And so out of that, I had to practice forgiveness and understanding that, forgiveness is more so for yourself and moving on.
Yes.
And
That is
it's
such
very
a powerful
powerful.
thing that you just said, is that forgiveness is more for you than it is for the other person. There's some people that have had horrible things happen to them, and things that should never happen, that one individual should never do to somebody else. And to hate and hold on to all this anger and hatred for somebody, it hurts you so much more than it does the other person. So really truly having forgiveness is really, you're allowing yourself to move on. And it's not saying what they did was okay. It's never saying what you did was okay. That's okay, you did that. It's forgiving them for you, so you then can move on.
Yeah,
Very
absolutely.
powerful. Yes.
Yeah, so that was a big thing with me, and obviously, my faith is an important part of who I am. I respect everybody's belief systems, but that certainly had a tremendous impact in helping me get through this. But I think too, just seeing, the more I recognized how the story and the message was helping people, the more it encouraged me. And which, led me, people's like, well, Cody, you need to write a book. And I thought, well, I never write a book, but they encouraged it. And so it took me a good year to release it. And I titled the book Scar Release. breaking free of yesterday's troubles. And scar release is actually named after a surgical procedure that they do on burn survivors. And as a burn survivor, I have contracture scars. And when a contracture scar occurs over the top of a joint, it can limit the mobility of that joint. And so I always talk about my hands, for example. My web spaces had contracted to the point where I couldn't even hold onto a bottle of water. So I had limited mobility within my hands. And so I went into therapy and they said, Cody, you're going to need to go and have surgery, get the scar released. Went in, surgeons assessed me, surgical contracture release. That's what we got to do. Okay, scar release. And what that is, they go in, they cut the scar at its root, and it allows you to move and be mobile again. I tell people that, a scar release procedure doesn't remove the appearance of a scar. It allows the mobility to move with the scar. And so I take that and I parallel it to how everybody in life, if they don't have physical scars, they have the emotional. And sometimes these emotional scars, they occur over joints in our life, if you will. Maybe it's back in childhood. Maybe it was in business or marriage. The list could go on. And if we're not careful, those scars can limit us in our everyday life. And so it's important that we find the root of the situation. If you need to forgive, then forgive. If you need to, who knows what else? Only you would know. But whatever it is, find the situation, address it, and yet understand that scars, they're always there. Embrace that fact, find the beauty, so to speak, and just move with the scar, because your scars are a testimony and an encouragement to others. And so as a burn survivor, I have scars on my arms. I have my left leg, my right foot. It's very sporadic as far as where it was burned, but I show them off. And it's always amazing because it opens the door for me to be able to share, because people always are interested. What happened to you? And I may say, well, it's a shark attack or something crazy. But no, I said, no, I was in a bad car crash and this is what happened. But out of that, it really has given the opportunity for me to speak and encourage them where they're at in their life. So it's really been a blessing.
Yes, you're right. We all have our own scars, right? And just like Jim Rohn says, we all have the same wind. It's how you set the sail. Everyone has stuff. So it's a matter of how you go about them and how you combat them and how you attack life. So it has been so nice talking to you, Cody. I've really enjoyed myself. I've learned so much about you. And I know that I'd like to talk to people about, you want to promote your book and let people know where they can find it on Amazon. How do people find out about you, Cody? And can you please name your book again so they can go there and know how to purchase it?
Yes. So the book is called Scar Release, Breaking Free of Yesterday's Troubles. It is available on Amazon. If they are interested, they can go to my website, codybyrns.com, CODYBYRNS.com. On there's actually a button they can click, Scar Release Book. If they're interested, they can download the first chapter of the book for free. Give it a read, see if they would like it. And then obviously on there, all my social media, every way for them to get in contact, it's all there.
Great. I appreciate it. This has been wonderful. If Cody can survive and thrive, right? Pivot after everything that happened to him, so can you. And I know that for many of us, it's just been a really rough year. I hear it so much about how hard 2020 has been. But again, tomorrow is a new day, and it's all how we attack it. We all have the same situations going on, just at different times in our life, and it's how we deal with it. So I just want to thank you so much, Cody. I always ask everyone at the end, like, if there's one thing you could leave everybody with, what would it be? What would you say? Whether it's business or whether it's personal or any type of, way to leave today, what would that be?
Yeah, I will leave it with a quote. This was given to me by one of my mentors, Dr. Sean Stevenson. He actually passed last year. A great guy. But this quote was written by Caitlin Walsh, and I have it up on my wall. I love it. It says, "The key to success is playing the hand you were dealt like it was the hand that you wanted." It's powerful.
Ooh, I like that. The key to success is dealing
Playing,
the
playing the
hand.
hand.
Oh, playing the hand you were dealt like the hand that you wanted. That
That's it.
is strong.
Yeah.
I thank you for that. That's so, so powerful. Okay. One more time, book, Cody. The name of your book is?
Scar Release, Breaking Free of Yesterday's Troubles.
Everyone, you know where to go. Go to Amazon and get it. And as always, I'm going to end with this. Thank you so much for your time. I know you have so many ways to spend it, and I appreciate you spending it with us. And remember, implementation is key. Learning here today from Cody and hearing this great story is awesome, but if we don't learn from it and implement in our lives, nothing will change. And I hope you are just as fired up as I am, and I will see you next time. Thank you all again for your time.
Hey there, I have a brand new podcast called Fired Up with Krista Mashore, where I bring my high energy right to your ears. This podcast is available on all your favorite podcast platforms. So do me a favor, go subscribe and leave a review. All this information is free and I cannot wait to teach you everything I know. Thanks so much for watching my video. You can learn more about how to be a successful real estate professional by watching other videos that I have. And be sure to subscribe to my channel. And as always, make it a great home selling and buying day.